Okay, hey everybody, Dr. Bulow here with Around Cranberry Township, and of course my clinic Revive Upper Cervical Chiropractic. But today it's all about Inspired Hearts and Hands. And so Inspired Hearts and Hands is an organization that's been around for a bit, but today I get the pleasure of introducing you to the founder and I'm guessing director, Miss Mindy Schnicken, right?
That's correct.
I got it right. Okay, cool. A patient of mine introduced you guys to me, and as soon as I heard about it, we have a food drive coming up, and I said, oh my gosh, we've got to meet Mindy. We got to see what's going on. So if you would just take a minute and just introduce yourself and Inspired Hearts and Hands to the Around Cranberry community.
Well, thank you. Thanks for
Absolutely,
having us.
yeah.
I'm honored to be here. So Inspired Hearts and Hands for me began back in 2012. Basically, I had participated in Light of Life. Light of Life does baskets for their families, and I was just totally inspired by the work that they were doing. But I wanted and I felt compelled to bring it local. I live in Mars. My kids go to Mars. And I just felt like, I wanted them to have that same experience, but they weren't old enough to participate in some of the volunteer activities. They had to be a little bit older. So the first year we put together some food baskets for a community in Gibsonia. There are about 65 families.
Wow.
And the thought was, when we sat down to a Thanksgiving meal, we wanted to know that we had helped others do the same. So that when we enjoyed our meal, we knew that we were in good company. Just couldn't imagine someone not having that opportunity.
Yeah.
So that really was the feeling behind it. Well, long story short, it has gotten, the group has grown tremendously. It started as a group of just myself and my family and my friends who all had the same feeling, all wanted the same thing. And it has grown this year. It grew beyond just the Thanksgiving baskets. We had so much support. We had extra money left over, so let's provide Christmas gifts for this same community. These kids deserve. These kids at the Thomas Village location, they go to Pine Richland. So it stands to reason that you would understand they stand out a little bit because there's a lot of wealth in Pine Richland, and so they just stand out. So we wanted to do something a little extra for them, and we provided gifts that second year. And not even the second year we got it. And the effort has just continued to grow. We found that as soon as we did that, then we got just a little bit more. And as soon as we did that, we got just a little bit more. So in 2019, we incorporated. We grew to the point of needing to incorporate. In January last year, we grew by 2 times last year. We doubled our size last year, and we have done it again this year.
That's amazing.
Last year we had about 400 baskets. This year we will do 825 meal baskets,
That's amazing.
Holiday meal baskets between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we now have not just one angel tree, we have a variety of angel trees, somewhere in the 10 to 20 range. Some of them are virtual, some of them are in person with tags, and we will cover just about as many individuals, 800 to 850 individuals this year. Our target are really anyone that's considered low income or financially burdened individuals. We have veterans communities, we have communities that are just families and their children. And we also do some seniors as well that are alone, have no one else, and are in that same income bracket. So that's where we get our 850. This year we picked up 2 brand new communities. One of them is an elementary school that is in Butler City. Emily Britton Elementary School. There are about 260 students that go there.
Wow.
80 to 90% of them are on free or reduced meals, and so we wanted to go in a big way, and so all of those families will receive a holiday meal basket, and all of the children will receive a gift. That's just one of many communities. We also work with Cranberry Point, we work with Thomas Village, we work with a veterans group that is on Washington Boulevard. We work with a veterans group that is in Butler associated with the Center for Community Resources. So the way that we've grown is very organic. We've taken on new communities as they've become available. Our growth goal, our 5-year growth goal, is to continue to expand into Butler and to really, we're just hitting or helping one elementary school now. There's a lot of need.
Yeah.
The district is very large, and there are a lot of families there that we can help. So that is where we are headed.
That's incredible. That is incredible, and that's all in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep, we're growing quickly.
I was humbled to see out in the Newcastle area. I went out and saw one of the food drives out there, and there were tons and tons of cars for a food drive at I think it was the parking lot of the Shenangos School District there. And I'm curious if you've seen, compared to last year, an increase in need just based on COVID and everything else going on in terms of people not being able to work or people having increase in financial difficulties due to everything going on. Has that been something that you've observed?
Oh, yeah. And in fact, it's interesting. I've seen it on both sides. One, we've seen the need grow drastically this year. We definitely have a lot more families than we have had, obviously, as evidenced by our growth. But we've also seen it on the other side where we've had families that were big supporters of ours in the past who themselves are struggling.
Wow.
And so they're doing what they can to continue to support us. But what we've seen is companies, we've taken on a lot more corporate sponsorship this year where employees are just so thankful that they have their job. They made it through COVID. They're feeling good, and they're feeling blessed. And they want to help folks who maybe didn't fare the same. So we have had tremendous support from companies such as MSA, 26, Mars Bank, at lots of schools, ATA.
That's great.
Intensity. We've had so many people that have come on board to help us because everyone recognizes that there is a huge need out there this year.
And speaking of that, how can individuals and families, if they want to get involved and support you guys and kind of give back in any way they can? I know you mentioned there's on-site drop locations. I know we here, we'll talk about what we're doing in a minute at the Revive Clinic and the Around Cranberry Township initiatives. We have gift cards to raffle off for people who donate. So we'll talk about that. But in general, how can people get involved? I know that I think you had mentioned there's some on-site ways people can help out, and then there's some virtual ways and things like that.
There is. So our website is really a good portal for folks to visit. It's inspiredheartsandhands.com, and we'll post the link after. If you go there, you will find the campaign's name is The Necessary Extra. That's what we're looking to provide. We come alongside the food banks and the other government-sponsored programs, and we provide that little extra spark of love. We do it because we want to. We feel inclined to provide some or share some of our blessing with families that could probably use a good bit of that right now. So if you go to our website, you click on that link, you will find there are two links out there. One is if you want to get involved and volunteer, physically help us with wrapping gifts, assembling baskets, sorting food. There's helping us with any of the delivery days. That link is out there. In addition, there is a link to virtually sponsor a food basket. Our baskets have a value of about $25. That includes a $10 grocery gift card to Aldi to provide fresh proteins. It would be difficult for us to provide ham or a turkey, so we provide the gift card for it in place of that. And then, of course, the contents and the fixings for a typical holiday meal. So,
that's great.
So $25 is about the roundabout value. So we've had a lot of people who have just come on and sponsored the basket, and we have then gone and bulk purchase the food to do that. So that's one way you could do it. And number two would be drop off of physical goods. We have food drives going at Eden Hall Upper Elementary. Obviously your office will be collecting as well. Little House Learning Center is also doing one for us. ATA Martial Arts is another drop-off point that you could use. We have about 15 different neighborhoods that are also running campaigns.
That's great.
So I would suggest that if you're looking for a means to drop off physical goods, either give us a call. My phone number is on the website.
We'll put it on the video here as well.
And or reach out to us on Facebook and just let us know, and we'll be happy to help you with where you can drop off food. We just would appreciate any generosity and any donations you could provide.
That's amazing. I know I'm going to be chatting with my wife about getting our kids involved in volunteering in the future. I think that's fantastic. And at the clinic, we're going to be doing this for the rest of the month of November, especially next week to get some things in before Thanksgiving. But as it sounds like these are food baskets that go through the whole holidays. So I think we'll just leave it up the whole month of November. And what we're going to do, we've been collecting, as you guys know, through the ACT Give Back hashtag. I've been purchasing up gift cards from local businesses, and we have a little basket that we're putting together that has $250 worth of gift cards. Some of them are to Fun for All, the Dented Keg Brewery on 228, the Wonder Bar in Zelienople. We'll probably get some last minute people to contribute, but for everybody who drops that off at the Revive Clinic here in the Rowan Tower, you'll be entered to win a gift basket. And if you go and you donate monetarily on the website, on the Inspired Hearts and Hands website, then you'll actually get 5 chances to win there. So either way, you get a chance to win some to give back and to participate in some local businesses and give back to an amazing initiative here. So Mindy, we're going to probably wrap it up here. I'm going to put the links on there where people can get in touch with you. But I have to ask you the same question that I ask everybody, because I think it's a good one, and I'm intrigued. It's one of the reasons I started doing this, was to kind of see, what makes people tick, the people that drive a lot of local businesses and services in the region, the Cranberry and around Cranberry areas, Mars and Zealy and Wexford and Warrendale and even Beaver, these communities have been here a long time, but they're bringing new faces in, and they don't know, they may have never met the people behind some of these small businesses and things like that. And for those people, I'm kind of curious, and myself, what keeps you going? That's my favorite question to ask. Because when you run an organization, or you run a business, or you run a service, it's tiring, it's exhausting, it comes with its struggles. I would assume it's very inspiring to be in the line of work that you're in. But for those that don't know what that's like, I'm kind of curious, what's the juice you get out of it? What keeps you coming back? What inspires you the most about what you do?
When that first year, when we provided the gifts to that first community, and they were not expecting it at all. And the children, we handed them a bag, and even now I have the goosebumps from it, because that child opened that gift and was like, the look on their face, I honestly can't describe it to you. But then after, the mother came up to me afterwards and said, she was so emotional. She said, I don't even know how you did it, but I had that same thing in my cart. And I had so many other things that day. I put it back thinking, all right, I'm just going to wait till the next paycheck, and I'm going to try to get back to buy that thing.
Wow.
And here, lo and behold, I'm planning to do that here in the next week or so, because we go a little ahead of Christmas. She said, and it shows up, and there it is. And honestly, the nights of putting angel tree tags together and the running around collecting food in my vehicle, and the follow-ups after follow-ups to get that, makes it worth it. And quite honestly, I am so strong in my faith. God has brought us through this.
I was going to say, that's a God thing right there.
You live in anticipation of what the next thing He's going to do, because as soon as I think I hit a roadblock, the very next day, for example, last week I went and bought $6,000 in Aldi gift cards. Now we have monies coming in to virtually sponsor, but I went and bought them on my personal card. We haven't accumulated all that money just yet, but I know it's coming. I feel confident. But every single time I do that, it's a leap of faith. And this morning I got a call from someone who said, you know what, I want to sponsor all 85 baskets, so they're making a $2,000 donation. And it's just something
Yeah.
like that. I step out
Yeah.
in faith, and God provides. So
Yeah.
I think if everyone here could feel that same thing, you would just maybe understand it. It's amazing.
Cool. That's amazing. I can't even top that. I'm going to leave it at that. That is some special stuff right there that you just said, and I agree with you 100%. And thank you so much. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for
I'm
being
honored.
who you are and doing what you do. I think that's very important on multiple levels, and hopefully you guys have gotten as much joy out of hearing about this as I have, and please do get involved on all these different levels.
We'd really welcome your help. We really need it.
Awesome.
So, thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you. Bye now.